Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am a body piercer and I talk about all things body piercing, information, funny things we see and hear, funny ridiculous videos that I react to about piercing, just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, whatever you can think of when it comes to piercings. I probably talk about it. I'm sorry that I've been away for a few weeks. At this point, it may be a month. I have been away and I had a bunch of videos filmed, but this is what happened in those previous videos. This is a reenactment of it. Not even a reenactment. This is what happened like literally a few minutes ago. As I started filming, I did this. I honestly... Oh, fucking hell. I keep doing this. I keep putting the mic over there and then forgetting that I have a mic now. This is why I don't use a mic, because I am an idiot and I forget to use it. The amount of times now that since I've been using this mic, like I've had it, but I forgot to use it. And then when I finally do plug it in, I forget to actually physically either put it on the stand near me or like straight up hold it like this. I'll have it sitting in the corner of the room talking. I'll film an entire video and then I realize that I was meant to be using the mic, or like have it closer to me at least, and then the video is useless. Idiot. So me just checking the microphone is like properly connected. Let's begin the damn video, shall we? Today we're doing debunking piercing myths. So one that is quite common, in fact. A lot of people believe this to be true and are afraid of certain piercings because of this. And the myth is that an eyebrow piercing will paralyze you. Now, this is completely untrue. So people will believe that if you get an eyebrow piercing, you will end up with one side of your face paralyzed. So not true. I think people get this idea because of things like nerve damage, which also shouldn't happen with a piercing either. And in your face, we aren't piercing anywhere where these nerves are. When your piercer is about to pierce you, they will check with a torch, or at least they should be. Any piercing that you're getting, they should be checking so that they can see slightly underneath like the layer of skin, just to see what is underneath there. Mostly we're looking out for blood vessels so that we don't like nick them or hit them, and that will cause a lot of bleeding. That is more of the concern, is that looking out for that kind of thing, because the bleeding can just suck. Not that for an eyebrow piercing you're going to bleed out or anything, but it is best that your piercer check that area, because it's just going to be messy and it will take a little while for it to stop bleeding. So we just rather that not happen for everyone involved, and just keep it nice and clean and check for the blood vessels so that we don't hit it, because you can see those sort of things with the torch underneath the skin. That is more so what you're going to hit for an eyebrow piercing, not anything that would cause you to be paralyzed. So another myth that I will go on from with that one is that piercings cause nerve damage. In fact, I spoke about this not too long ago about looking at nerve maps. If you are worried, if you want to go in before and see, just so like to give you a bit of peace of mind, you can look at nerve maps and see where they are in your face, and you will see that areas that are to be pierced do not have major nerves that could cause like severe nerve damage in any of the areas that get pierced. Obviously, we have small nerves everywhere that like you get very slight nerve damage to an area, which causes like numbness or like tingling and stuff, but that goes away very quickly, whereas more major can be a lot more serious. So that's why we don't pierce areas with like major nerves running through them. Okay, another one. You can't breastfeed if you've had your nipples pierced. Now, this one is also a myth, so don't hold back from getting those nips pierced if you want them done. If you're like worried about in the future you might want to breastfeed, do not fear, you will be able to do so. The only thing is that you need to take the jewelry out when you are breastfeeding. I would recommend at least a month before, just so that they're completely healed up before your baby is suckling on them. Obviously, like they will close up a lot quicker than that, but just like you're prepping for everything else, take the nipple piercings out. Just have it like so that you don't forget. I would just allow enough time for them to completely close up. You don't want a baby latched on there with jewelry still in the nipple. This can be very dangerous. Obviously, a huge choking hazard, and you want your baby to be feeding off something that's like clean and sanitary. You don't want them getting any of your piercing jewelry like gunk. I'm not saying they're going to be gunky. You could clean them every day, but it still just isn't clean enough for your baby to be consuming that, let alone just huge choking hazard. Let's just not do that. So we take them out beforehand, and you can then get them pierced again afterwards, but you can't have them while you're breastfeeding. Going on from the nipples is this one I hear all the time. People love to promote this, and it's not true. And that is that if you get your nipples pierced, they will be perky, aka they will be hard all the time. Nope. No, it's not true. Like, your nipples still act very naturally. Nothing changes. They still go hard. They still go soft. Like, everything about them performs naturally. So everyone promoting that if you get them pierced, they'll be hard all the time. No, they will not. They don't. That's not what happens. I think this one may come from people with inverted nipples who haven't experienced their nipples like not being, like, how do I explain this? So once they get the piercing, their nipple will always be out, but it doesn't mean that the nipple is always hard. That for them is bringing the nipple out rather than having it inverted like inside. That doesn't mean they're always hard though. That's all I'm trying to get across, is that you can have your nipples be out, but they don't need to be hard. That might be where it came from. I'm not 100% sure, but I tell you, your nipples act the exact same as they always did. Other than if you had inverted nipples, because now it's brought them out and they're always sitting out. So that is the difference there, which is also a positive for people who don't like their nipples being inverted, is that you can get your nipples pierced and the bar essentially like holds the nipple out. So yeah. That's always one I recommend for people who don't like the inversion. I did a whole video about them here because there's a lot of people out there who are really interested in that. So get on it. Piercings cause keloids. This is sometimes yes, sometimes no. So this one kind of really depends on your family history. If anyone else in your family has keloid scarring, then yes, if you were to get a piercing, you are very likely to get a keloid scar. But if no one in your family has keloid scarring, no, this isn't true. So a lot of people get this really confused with irritation bumps, and they believe that basically if you get a piercing and there is some form of a bump on there, it is a keloid. Now, that is so untrue. I've spoken about these as well before. There's a lot of information on it that I go into, which would be better to look at for this type of thing. But yeah, essentially, if someone in your family has it, you are prone to getting these. It's like a genetic condition. But if you don't, you are so unlikely to get it. I'm not saying you absolutely can't, but I genuinely never see it unless people in their family have these keloid scars as well. Speaking of irritation bumps, tea tree oil is the best thing to use to rid of irritation bumps. No, Cleo. Do I actually sound like... I kind of hope I do actually. So this is so untrue. Tea tree oil at first use, people seem to think that it works wonders, that it clears up everything. Keloids, absolutely not. Irritation bumps, absolutely not. Infections, absolutely not. It's just like, it's going to make everything much, much, much worse. So it dries the shit out of your piercing. It may seem like maybe the first day it seems like it's working, and then it's just gonna go downhill. It essentially dries up your piercing to the point that you might think that it's like helping. It's like starting to heal. It may seem like it's getting better, the ooziness has gone away, but then it will just shoot right back up and get so much worse, like so much worse. It adds to any problems you have going on. So like, nope, big no, Cleo. Don't do that, Cleo. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like down below and subscribe if you're new here, and I'll be back very soon. Bye.